Hello, welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dream of owning a home or investing in one. Today, I am going to tackle a question that I often see on many different forums, and that is, can I invest in real estate if I'm shy and introvert? The answer is yes. But what I want to do first, before I actually get into what you can invest and what you can do, I want to dispel a myth. See, many parents have told many of us wrong. We think that shy and introvert is synonymous when actually it's not. There are some people that are both, but all shy people are not introverted. Shy people, they need time to warm up to people first before coming out of their shell. Many shy people like to be around others, but are afraid to because they are afraid about what other people think. This is normally due to past experiences of public embarrassment that either they dealt with directly or indirectly. And as a side note to this, I wanted to mention, I noticed that there are a number of people who think it's cute to go around telling people off and cursing them out. But what you need to realize is that that person that you cursed out for no reason at all, that you cut up, that person may later be the same person that you need to rely on. Or even if it's not that person, if someone else saw you do it, that can actually trigger shyness in a person, and they'll go into a shell and withdraw from the world. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't put people in their place every now and then, because sometimes it is necessary to do it. But if you're doing it for a sport because you like to hurt people, that's when it's a problem. Moving along, let's talk about introverts. So all introverts are not shy. Some of them are actually just reserved and work best alone as opposed to when there are a lot of people around. It doesn't mean they do not like people or are stuck up either. They just have a tendency to process things better when it's quiet. Personally, for me, it is hard for me to listen to two people at the same time. So when I'm in class or if I'm at a lecture, I prefer not to have a conversation with everybody, as particularly an ongoing conversation, or to be around people who are having ongoing conversations. So I'll tend nowadays to sit a little bit closer, to sit further up front, so that this way I can focus on what the lecturer is actually saying. I get distracted when, there's just too much going on around me. So for me personally, as well, I'm not really an introvert, I'm an ambivert, but I'm just giving you an example of how an introvert is. And then the other thing that I've run into that is also a problem that many other introverts have is that when you're working on complex problems, especially math problems, it's just better, and even computer problems, it's just better and easier to do it when there's quiet and not when there's a whole lot of noise and a whole lot of other people trying to talk to you. It's like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. Let me fix this problem first. I need to concentrate. And then once that's fixed, then I can go back talking to the other person. So introverts, that's something that I do have in common with introverts. Me personally, I'm an ambivert, meaning that there are times when I'm introverted and then there are times when I'm extroverted, because I'm somebody that I like to go out at least twice a month. So most introverts are homebodies and they're not necessarily going to go out as often as I do. And then the thing also with introverts that's very different from shy people is that introverts are not afraid of people. They just get a little stressed out by being around too many for too long. And then the main difference between the two is this: there is therapy for shyness, but there is no therapy for people who are introverted because it's not a mental issue. Okay? So now that I cleared that up, let me talk about some strategies that would be easy for both people who are shy and people who are introverted. I would say that the easiest investments for them would be REITs, crowdfund, notes, tax lien, turnkey properties, and multifamily properties that are already move-in ready. Here's why. With REITs and crowdfunds, you're pretty much giving your money to a company or to select individuals, partners, who are going to manage your money for you. You're basically investing it into a fund. With tax liens, in some states, you don't even actually have to appear at the auction to bid on them. You can actually do the bids online, or you can hire someone to go to the auction for you to bid on the property. Keep in mind that you can't do this in all states, but in many states you can do that. When it comes time to foreclosure, you can always hire a lawyer, and your presence is not needed when it's time to foreclose on the property. You don't have to appear in court at all. So that's why tax liens and mortgage notes are a good idea. As far as residential property, you can always get a residential manager to deal with people or a property manager to deal with people. If you do choose to manage it yourself, I would suggest either a single family or a small multifamily. This way you get to choose the tenants that you are comfortable with, particularly as long as you live on the property or you have no more than 3 properties altogether. Because once you have more than 3 properties, then you are definitely subject to the housing laws of the country. Okay? So that's why I recommend those. And of course, if you do single family, you can do owner financing, which is actually a form of a mortgage note. You can also possibly do a lease purchase or lease option as well, because when you choose those 2 choices, depending on how you have that contract set up, you will have little to no correspondence with those tenant buyers in your property. Okay? Now, let's say you want to buy an apartment building. Well, when you do that, normally you are going to have to partner with someone anyway. So I say this: make sure you choose a role where you have little interaction with the people, meaning you stick to duties such as accounting, clerical work, working with the computer, setting up programs. Let your partner deal with contractors, tenants, and anybody else. Make sure the partner you choose, though, is aware that They are solely responsible for that. And make sure that you are also comfortable with them and that they are competent and reliable people, because you don't want to just have anybody as your partner. You want to make sure they stay in their lane too. Now, later on in your endeavors, maybe you see a real estate career that you are interested in, or maybe you decide, you know what, I want to write a book and I want to help people. If you're going to do that, then networking is extremely critical. So here's what I suggest, and it's definitely critical when you want to form partnerships. If you are, particularly for those of you who are shy, or sometimes introverts, they can't think of anything to say, I say to you, do this. Prepare beforehand as much as you can, because that will lessen any anxiety. Pray if you have to, do affirmations if you have to, and definitely try to avoid any stressful situation before you actually go there. Think about what your gifts are and how your gifts can help others. Excuse me. Remember, you do not have to speak first. You can let other people's lead. Smile, give compliments, use your listening skills. And listen, don't freak out if you notice that somebody is turned off by you, because maybe through your body language, you show that you are shy or timid. Don't worry about that, because there are other people in the room that may accept you. And if not, there will be other networking events. Remember, it's not the quantity of people, it's the quality of the relationship with the people that you already know. The main thing, especially when it comes to network, is that the fortune is in the follow-up. There's a lot of people who are very friendly, but then they don't follow up with anybody. And then when they turn around and a deal comes by, or they can't get a deal, it's because they never followed up with the people that they actually met. So what you do is, right after you meet somebody, send them an email saying, you know what, it was nice meeting with you. Hope to speak with you soon. My hours of availability is from X to Y. Feel free to call me during that time, or maybe we can schedule a follow-up meeting, have coffee, sit down together, something along those lines. Because this way you are building rapport with people, and you can also figure out, whether or not this person is someone that you can partner with, or maybe they're just another mentor that you can use, or maybe they know someone that can help you out. You might have a plumbing situation. They may be able to give you some recommendations. So that's really where you need to keep your mind. Okay? Now, lastly, depending on what you want to do and where you want to go, you may want to just stretch yourself just a little bit. And one organization that I've just recently joined again is Toastmasters. Now, what I find is, the one that I'm in particular, they nurture you and they help you with public speaking, and they also help manage your nerves. I'm still working on it, as you can tell. So that is one place that I would recommend someone who is shy to go to learn how to either overcome the shyness or persevere through the shyness, if you will. It's a great networking opportunity, and you might find, like my group, there are other people in real estate there. So it's a great networking opportunity. And please be mindful that you don't necessarily have to network with everybody who's in real estate. It's okay to network and meet people outside of real estate. They might have a house or have a family member that has a house that they want to sell, and if you have the money, maybe you can buy it from them. I have that. I get that all the time. I don't have a problem finding deals for that reason. So at the end of the day, guys, listen, when it comes to shyness and introverts, it's up to you where you want to go and how you want to manage the strategy that you have chosen to be in. So, well, okay, folks, I hope the information that I've just shared with you shows you, first of all, the difference between shy and introverted. And number two, the fact that a shy and introverted person can be in real estate, and they actually can be successful in it. There are a few people in real estate who are both shy and introverted. It is possible. So that's all I have for you. Please feel free to pass this along. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time.